At 3:47 a.m., laughter pulled me out of sleep, not the pleasant kind, but sharp and mocking. An engine growled. Tires ripped through soft earth. Headlights scanned across my bedroom window like prison spotlights. Then the crunch. The hydrangeas I had once planted carefully, each with purpose, were crushed under the weight of tires and metal. For the third time this month. I didn't rush outside. I didn't shout or curse. I just sat quietly in the darkness, watching the red taillights fade into the distance. He never stayed. He never needed to. Just long enough to leave his mark. She'd told me it meant nothing. Boys will be boys, she had said. No. Some men are beasts. Some lay traps. And I had just finished digging mine. She left me for him. Said I was too calm, too soft-spoken, too kind. Claimed she didn't want someone who tended to flowers. She wanted a man who could rip things apart with bare hands. He was exactly that. Loud, careless, laughing with a mouth too wide and eyes too vacant. She introduced him barely 6 weeks after the ink on the divorce papers had dried. Married him half a year later. Moved only 3 blocks away. They passed by the house regularly. She'd hide behind big sunglasses. He wore that smirk, the kind that said he'd marked territory that wasn't his to begin with. I let it go at first. Even called her the first time he tore through the side of the yard. She laughed. Real men leave a trail, she said. She didn't understand. So do I. I began to watch for patterns. Same time. Same turn. Same tire impressions. He liked the mess. The show. It gave him a sense of power. But true power doesn't roar. It waits. It watches. It whispers. I set up cameras. Discreet. Motion sensitive. Silent. The recordings confirmed what I already knew. Every act was intentional. He'd bumped the fence hard enough to shift it, but not to destroy it, until last week. That's when he didn't hit it with his truck. He kicked it. I saw the boot print clearly in the broken wood. A signature move. A message. He wanted to be noticed. Fine. I'd notice him, with pain, not the police. I spent 3 full days crafting the trap. Just beneath the garden's edge, rebar, sharpened spikes, strands of barbed wire tucked beneath a blanket of mulch. Unseen from the road. Maybe illegal. But so was trespassing. So was humiliation. So was robbing me of everything and returning just to spit on the ashes. That night, I stayed up, a mug of coffee warming my hands. No lights. No movement. Just the ticking of the clock and the quiet before the storm. At 3:42, it came, the low, steady hum of his engine, a predator stalking its prey. Tires crunched into gravel. Then, a scream. Not exaggerated. Not theatrical. Primal. I watched from the porch, still, silent, focused. His truck sat tilted, front left wheel embedded in the trap. Blood painted the hood. The windshield cracked like broken ice. He stumbled out, trying to get a better look. That was his error. He stepped forward. Fell chest first into the pit. Tried to crawl out, but there was too much pain. Too much wire piercing in places wire should never touch. I didn't move. Didn't help. She arrived soon after, barefoot, panic in her voice. Her scream was different. It splintered in the air. Not because he was injured, but because I had done it. She ran to me. What did you do? I looked her in the eyes. I tend gardens, I said. Then I stepped aside so she could fully see her real man, crying like a wounded child. She tried to call someone, but her phone had no reception. I made sure of that, too. Signal jammed. Planned to the last detail. Emergency services would come, eventually. But not before he bled. Not before she saw who he truly was. a coward, a vandal, a pathetic bully. People like to say karma doesn't have a home. That night, it lived in my soil and wore his blood like rain. No charges were filed. Too much shame. Too many questions. Too much proof that he'd been warned. She stopped walking past my place. He got rid of the truck. I rebuilt the fence. Stronger this time. Steel posts. Reinforced beams. The flowers returned, slower this time, but tougher, like me. I don't smile when I see their house dark and silent. I don't feel smug. I just sip my coffee and gaze at the patch of earth where he once fell. And I remind myself, real men don't destroy gardens. They bury things in them.